Solo. So if you don't sing, he's going to sing his solo. So this should be encouragement for all of you to get up there. What are you singing? I don't know. What did I say? I'm kidding, of course.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Luis Miguel could sing a song. Why not? Oh, he said no. Ray, how are you tonight?
Good.
You were a little late tonight.
Oh yeah, it's the low season, so I'm busking till as many hours as I can get.
This is a new word for me. I just learned it like last
Low
year.
season.
It's called busking.
Buscar, from the Spanish buscar.
To entertain, to work for tips on the streets or in restaurants.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here you are at open mic in the air conditioning, and the stage is yours.
Anarchy and misery, a ghoulish reality, a devastation of humanity, of poor people almost exclusively, human suffering unparalleled in American history, citizens' lives made barren and impotent by the catastrophe, real human emotions acted out for the world to see. It never would have happened if Bush hadn't taken away the $70 million needed to fortify the levee. The people of New Orleans becoming refugees from their own city, floodwaters unsafe because of their toxicity, left without worldly possessions searching for lost family. Halliburton Incorporated got the cleanup contracts, exploiters of poverty, a nation thinking itself invulnerable to Earth and its forces, woken from that fantasy. Hurricane Katrina gave us a harsh dose of reality. Survival of the richest, escaping if you had money. The American dream, capitalist fiction, turned out to be a fallacy. Exposing the charade of separate but equal, vanished racism and social equality. Hurricane Katrina provided proof that black and white America are divided socio-economically, just as it was before the formation of the Republic, when black slaves were considered animals and one's skin color determined freedom or misery. Conscious and subconscious racism still lingers. With emancipation did not come equality. Blacks creeping out of cesspools of slavery into a world only seen through the periphery. A culture white and homogeneous placed monolithic barriers to entry. This can be said with certainty. The slave labor of blacks made America wealthy. Their blood, sweat and tears enriching America's past and present oligarchy. America's wealth accumulated over centuries of slavery. Generations of blacks have suffered from a playing field that has no semblance of equality, dependent on the crumbs and bones thrown their way by an Anglo society. For over 100 years after winning their freedom, blacks remained a servile entity. Confronted with societal racism and government indifference, the black community never really escaped slavery. Slave wages, slave income, slave-like conditions with no foreseeable opportunity. Jobs whites no longer wanted were given to blacks, the lowest end of the totem pole called American society. White America pretended the ghetto did not exist, even as millions of blacks lived in squalor and misery, making impotent education from preschool through high school by introducing fire, water, weapons and drugs into the inner city, relegated to the slums and ghettos, forced to live in poverty, wanting to move ahead and escape the internment camp that the elite had shoved them into, but lacking the education necessary. Without education, there's ignorance. Without education, there's pure ignorance and lack of knowledge. Without livable wages, there's only slavery. Living paycheck to paycheck, indebted more and more each day. Thousands of blacks are forced to join the military. Without employment and education, 2 million blacks find themselves in the largest prison system known to man. Without employment and education, 2 million blacks find themselves in the largest prison system known to man. Without employment and education, 2 million blacks find themselves in the largest prison system known to man. I'll just skip it and forward from there. Okay. The sojourn into the inner city is to take a trip into Haiti. Those such as George Bush, born with silver spoons and gold-plated toilets, would be unlikely to show any sympathy. No concern for those less fortunate than themselves, focused on the dollar almighty. George Bush playing rounds of golf in California, completely ignoring the New Orleans calamity. Failing to attend to the largest natural disaster in America's history showed that Bush was nothing more than a corporate-owned lackey. More concern was given Bush's foul war in Iraq than an American city. The Bush administration knew full well the dangers of a major hurricane hitting New Orleans, but didn't help to secure the city's safety. so the people of New Orleans were forced to fend for themselves, swimming in toxic cocktails of waste, dehydrated for lack of water, and hungry. This has been a message from England's first rapper, documented in Black Echoes magazine, January 1980. Hurricane Katrina revealed that George Bush has a frozen in the 60s mindset. Welcome to reality.
Oh my God.